Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, we had a new form for Necrozma, which introduced a new ability, Neuroforce, bringing the total to 233 abilities currently available in Pokemon. That's kind of a crazy amount. That means we have more than one ability per 4 Pokemon, but it really doesn't feel that way. Now, some abilities like Illuminate have no competitive use, so we really don't see them that often competitively, but also a Pokemon can have up to 3 or more abilities, depending on forms and stuff like that. So that's why I thought it was really fun to do my video, new abilities we need in the next Pokemon games. Now, some of the abilities I talk about in the video are completely new ideas that I feel would be a great fit for Pokemon, and then some of the other abilities are effectively modifying existing abilities for different typings and stats. And then I ask for you guys to comment down below what abilities you would like to see in Pokemon, and my goodness, the response was absolutely insane. We have over 800 comments, and most of them are suggesting a new ability or multiple abilities. So let's just get right into it. That's what this video is going to be about. I'm just going to read the list for a while until I get bored and tired, and that should bring us to like 100 or so new abilities for Pokemon. However, Cabbage Overlord, I said early on in the video, I am not going to suggest something like an Intimidate for special attacks, because I feel that would be way too toxic to the game, but we have Mockery. Ability that acts like Intimidate, but lowers special attack instead. I feel that anything besides attack might just be a little too broken and unbalanced. It's like, oh, lowers speed. Yeah, that's right. Just put a Pokemon that immediately lowers speed on the field. Having the ability to drop attack and special attack with Intimidate, that's just a little too much for me. Buff Silvally via the option to combine 2 memories capable of dual typing, unlike Arceus. That's a pretty sick idea. New ability, Tough Bark. I actually love this comment. Weakens damage from poison, bug, and flying attacks, primarily for grass-type Pokemon. I think that kind of brings us something to like the Mega Venusaur. Mega Venusaur got the thick fat, which reduces fire and ice. So Tough Bark on certain Pokemon would be pretty cool because it would reduce a lot of the weaknesses. Now, Trevenant is like the most direct tree Pokemon I can think about that would have that. But it's a ghost typing, so that means it doesn't have to worry about poison and bug anyways, but the flying would be pretty nice. And I do like a concept of taking a Pokemon's weaknesses, applying like a theme, and then just making it nullify those weaknesses, so that way the Pokemon plays completely different. They should also make an ability that bans Smogon. I agree with that as well. New ability, Retainer. Pokemon keeps any stat changes when switched out of battle. That is awesome. That is devastating, but I love that idea. Like, again, just these crazy ideas. Sometimes they seem super overpowered, but maybe a modified concept, or at least introducing something a bit more gimmicky would be fun. That's something I'd also talk about in the video, that we don't have too many crazy things like the Wonder Guard on Shedinja anymore. We don't have like a lot of comboing abilities, and I think Zeraora kind of pushes the limit too. I'm excited for Zeraora because Plasma Fists acts like Ion Deluge, and then you give Zeraora the Volt Absorb. So if you ever use a normal type move against Zeraora, you're screwed. It's going to be negated, it's going to heal Zeraora, and then you're just going to be taking a ton of damage from it for free. So that's kind of it, but Retainer, man, I would just stack, like, also, I think Retainer would be a little too busted because of Baton Pass. Like, you just put all the stats, you get a +6 everything Pokemon, you slap it onto the Retainer, and then you switch out, you come back in, and you just win forever. Is that what the replies say? Like, you know, Baton Pass, GG. Any means of switching out or Baton Pass, done. Eject button, Whirlwind. Yeah, like, I think that is one of the counters to setting up so many stats, but maybe, like, the Pokemon can't be a receiver Baton Pass. That's, like, a lot of stipulations, but it would make it balance. My idea, I'm just going to use Double Team 6 times, and then now I have a permanent evasion Pokemon, which is pretty fun. No ability, but I want a Room Extender item, which extends duration from Magic Room, Trick Room, Wonder Room, 5 to 8 turns, just like Weather Rocks and Terrain Extenders. Pretty cool. Unyielding, switch in traps, don't hurt the Pokemon. We already have something like that, pretty much like the Magic Coat. Or not Magic Coat, Magic Guard. However, there are some abilities that are effectively the same thing, just named differently to suit a different theme on the Pokemon. And I feel like we have something, yeah, that's basically Magic Guard. New ability, Telekinetic. All physical moves turn into special moves. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to figure out like how a Pokemon concept would work. That's a neat idea right there. Integrity. All moves become Oko moves to any Pokemon that were hacked. I like it. How about this new ability, Integrity? If a hacked Pokemon is detected on the enemy team, you instantly win the battle. That'd be like amazing. Just as like this feeling that, oh, you went up against a hacked person. Then it's like the battle starts and then you instantly win. That would just feel great. My own ability idea, Walls Up. After losing 50% hit points or more, both defense stats are maxed Both attack stats are lowered to -6. You won't be able to hurt anything, but they can't hurt you either. That's really extreme. Like, we kind of have abilities that max stats already. Like, that was a risk. You know, saying a move like, or not move, an ability like Anger Point, you get crit. It's a low chance. It can be, like, modified. There are ways of getting, like, higher crit chances and stuff. And then, boom, max attack just like that. And it can be used for snowballing battles. So walls up at 50% hit points or more. Problem about that is that means you are quadrupling both of your defensive stats. It doesn't, like, then you could just toxic stall forever. Maybe just sharply raising. So I think that another thing that needs to be explored more in Pokemon is drastic. That we rarely see anything that drastically raises or affects stats. Like Cotton Guard, it's Cotton Guard and like I think 1 or 2 other moves that actually, Tail Glow. Cotton Guard and Tail Glow actually drastically raise stats. We don't see many abilities or moves that play around with that ability. So that could be something. And I think that for Pokemon that would utilize the walls up more, it would be cut your attack and special attack by -6, then gives you +3 in defense and special defense. I think that'd be more balanced, but pretty cool. Poltergeist, allow ghosts to hit Pokemon of the normal typing. Why don't we have this yet? Then we have something extreme, Juggler. Possibly swap out an enemy Pokemon like Red Card if physical contact is made. 25% chance, expect Endure to be useful. That'd be pretty crazy right there. Also, if it's on like a fast Pokemon, because that means you could either KO or you can Endure for a chance to swap. But you'd also want it on like a tankier, slower Pokemon. That way you can maybe just shuffle them that way. Or use that as like a sacrifice. You know, the opponent, they've set up way too many stats. You don't have any Red Card on your team. So just bring it in, you know. It gets nuked out of the game. Or even then, like, that's when you use Endure. Use Endure, that means it's like +6 Dragon Dance Pokemon comes in, hits you, gets bounced out. That could be really cool for like anti-setup, because there's a lot of ways of stopping tank setup with like Whirlwind and stuff, but there's not a lot of ways of stopping sweep setup. And I feel that that's unfair to tanks, and that could maybe work. New ability, Lost Companion. When your Pokemon is knocked down in battle, the Pokemon with a Lost Companion is consumed by rage. Their fighting spirit becomes stronger and increases their attack and speed stats by 1 stage. That rage causes the Pokemon to become reckless, reduce their accuracy by 1 stage. That's kind of neat for double battles. The allied Pokemon goes down, it gets +1 speed, +1 attack, and then loses accuracy. I mean, we already have the Hustle ability. I feel the accuracy drop isn't... It makes it kind of bad, but I don't know. Like, Lost Companion... I feel like it would need to be a plus or minus kind of thing. That, you know, both Pokemon need Lost Companion, and then you don't need the accuracy drop anymore, but then it makes it very specific. Like, you know, only 3 or 4 Pokemon can pair up together with each other. I'm trying to think about a way that just doesn't have the accuracy drop, because we've already seen, like, Soul Heart on Magearna, you're gaining plus special attack for free for just having Pokemon faint around you. So I think you could get away with an attack and special, or attack and speed boost if there's something special going on with the circumstances behind it. Cool video. Would like to see one on new battle items. I don't know. I've tried a video like that, but it's like I feel like there's already so many battle items, yet it does feel like there are a few missing. But I don't think you could just completely rewrite a lot of existing items like Assault Vest that boost defense instead. And I think Assault Vest has its own like special place as Assault Vest. Mega Launcher ability for beam moves. That's pretty cool. That would make people want to use Hyper Beam, huh? Aqua Vigor. Pokemon gets double attack in rain. Only Poliwrath gets it. Dang. You're a Poliwrath fan, aren't you? I feel like that would be a tough sell because, you know, giving free speed isn't the worst thing ever. So we start giving offenses that things start getting swept around super easily. I mean, look at Sandforce. Sandforce is only a 30% boost to certain moves. I guess only giving it to, like, a Pokemon like Poliwrath could be solid. But then what happens if... Actually, no. Like, because then you can't get Swift Swim with it. It would be hard to combo in like a skill swap or pumping stats into Poliwrath. And I do like the idea of giving something that isn't just a Chlorophyll, Sand Rush, Swift Swim to other abilities or to other stats that aren't the speed. But I don't know, I think it might be a little too strong. But then at the same time, it's like, oh, what's a Swords Dance for free inside of ability when we have all these other crazy abilities doing other crazy things as well? New ability, Arrogant. Results in resistances and weaknesses being reversed between opposing Pokemon. That's pretty cool. And then we got this guy right here, Carl Johnson, coming through and just bringing us a ton of new abilities. So Aegis, 30% chance of having special attacks, physical, attacking 5x at half the damage. Oh, that's actually really neat. So it's like Skill Link, but it's half damage, but it has 5 times damage. So that means we get like a net of 2.5 times damage. That's still a lot though. Maybe 5x at a quarter of the damage, because then that means, actually, I'm wondering if we could go 50% chance for 5x 1/4 of the damage. Because that means we're still like netting positive amounts of damage, and we've already seen things like sheer force, you know, it's 30% with a certain kind of drawback to it that you can only use certain moves on the sheer force for 30%. So effectively a free 25% that also breaks sturdy, sash, and can maybe mess up some other opponent strategies as well. And then you can combo that with like King's Rock or other things that add to damage. Like, yeah, I think that would work out. Because I think 5x at half, you know, 30% chance to do 2.5 times more damage. That sounds a little broken to me. But these are definitely special kind of abilities that, you know, abilities that have a chance to activate. Those RNG abilities, we see them less and less used, but they could have some pretty cool things. Chance of restoring damage equal to half inflicted. I like that. Chance of ignoring half target's defense and special defense when attacking. So 30% chance to do double damage. I think that's just a little too strong. You know, I think that's just a little too strong. Unaffected by super effective attacks. That's broken for sure. That's like reverse Wonder Guard, and depending on what Pokemon has it, I mean, then you just skill swap it, and things get really scary from there. Ignis, 30% chance of adding half attack or special attack to attacking value. That's weird. That starts getting to some deep Pokemon mechanics. Lethality, 5% chance to kill the target. I love it. Like, all you would need is the most tanky, sustained Pokemon throwing out like a tackle or quick. No, you need quick attack on that. Just make sure you priority kill them. Sales Force, 50% chance of acting again after defeating a foe. Might be broken as well. I mean, we already have Instruct, which is like a guaranteed just double attack. So, I mean, in doubles, if you have someone where it's like hit and then a small chance to act again, I think you could follow up like Quick Claw. You know, give it the Quick Claw odds, which is around, what is Quick Claw? 16.5% or is it 18%? Like, Quick Claw is almost 1 in 5, but not quite. So I think 15% chance is kind of fair on that. Counter damage taken from an enemy reflects back at them. I actually, you know what I would like to see? I would like to see a permanent counter ability. That isn't like, you know, rebounds double damage, but rebounds like 20%. It's like 20% of all the damage this Pokemon takes goes back to the opponent. I think that would be a really amazing ability. And I think it'd be fair. Like, we see this in a lot of like RPGs and a lot of other video games as well. I think that'd be something pretty interesting. Life Taker restores 50 hit points after KOing a foe. That reminds me of that League of Legends ability, or not ability, like the new rune that used to be a mastery. What is like 15% of missing? I think like 50% of missing hit points after KOing a foe would be awesome. And then anyone else play Fire Emblem? Aha! I actually don't play Fire Emblem, so a lot of people might have caught on to this. But yeah, I think with all the names that could have been understood. But yeah, applying Fire Emblem into Pokemon could lead to some pretty interesting abilities. I like 3 of these that would really need to be implemented. I think I might have to do another video as well talking about removing other removing useless abilities from existing Pokemon and then just putting in new awesome abilities. I think that'd be like one of the best ways. We already saw that in Sun and Moon, but I want to see like a massive overhaul. I feel for Gen 8, Pokemon needs to like rewrite and revamp themselves completely. Just go post some ideas for Mega Evolutions. Oh no. I would like that for another video, but now I had to like scroll through all of that. Haunted Graveyard. Ability activates move Haunted Terrain. Moves creates a This ability activates the move Haunted Terrain. Haunted Terrain is a move that creates a graveyard as the battle area, which boosts Ghost-type Pokemon and gives them immunity from status effects. I feel that immunity from status effects already exists on Misty Terrain, so maybe it'd be like too redundant for Graveyard. Like, I feel the terrains need to bring something like strange and unique. So maybe Ghost-type Pokemon gain 0.25 or like 1.25 to all their stats, you know? So they do 25% more damage, they have 25% more defenses, maybe not on the speed, because like when you start modifying speed on terrains like that, it can get a little screwy. But I think like maybe 1/3, like everything on Ghost is increased by 1/3 except for speed. I think that'd be pretty cool for Graveyard, because they are kind of frail, so adding that tankiness kind of gives a lot of diversity for pretty much any Pokemon, or maybe that's where the Graveyard allows for Ghost-type moves to not be immune by normal types. Something cool like that. I don't have the ability ideas, but I have some move ideas. We can do that for a while. Like, you know, there's a lot of really cool ideas we can do with different kinds of videos. How about an ability where if you feint a double battle, your ally gets all of your stat changes? I like it. That's like Power of Alchemy or the receiver ability, but for stats. So that means if you're taking this gamble, like, dude, imagine like Extreme Evo Boost or the Komodo Z move. Like, you just go reckless on it, you know, just like, I'm gaining stats. And then if you just get knocked out, it's like, well, Now he's gaining stats, and you can maybe even predict it too. Like, oh, I'm low. This is the turn where I'm going to get KO'd. Switch into that Pokemon. Now, boom, free stats forever. Intense. Any negative stat changes increase speed by 1 stage. Alright, so we have like the rivalry, but for speed. That's pretty cool. Icy Touch. All physical attacks have a slight chance to freeze. That's scary. Because like freeze is one of the more interesting ones. Like, you look at sleep and you look at freeze and stuff, and they're very heavily balanced, because when you just lock out opponents that hard for free, you gotta balance it. But yeah, like 10% on physical could stack with something like Ice Punch. I think that could work. Table's turn. Status moves are reflected to the user. Magic Bounce? And then Chaos. Foes that make contact with this Pokemon have a chance to activate random status effect. So, what is it? Effect Spore. Is that what the comments say? Magic Bounce, and sounds cool. Icy Touch would be on mons like Articuno Regice. Effect Spore 2, Electric, Grass, Psychic Fairy. Oh, Attract. That'd be pretty. Well, I mean, we already have Cute Charm for Attract. Terrain Lock, Cloud9, Airlock for terrains, like that. Surge Surfer for all terrains, like it. We have like a lot of really cool stuff, like the seeds. I feel the seeds could have been a little bit more explored for other kind of terrains or effects or something. Refrigerate version for all types. So yeah, we have. I think a lot of people have brought that up. I think I even saw a comment a while ago. Like, someone did a listing for like refrigerate, aerolate, all of those, but for all the typings, and gave them cool little names. So I mean, that's just like a free 10 new abilities right there. New ability, Time Skip. What it can do is make it so moves that require recharge do not read recharge turns. That sounds scary and strong. Maybe have it work like Disguise, like once per battle. Once per battle I think would be too bad. Maybe once per like switch in, you know, like it goes on cooldown until the Pokemon switches out and comes back in. Ooh, here we go. 44 likes on this one. An ability I would love to be introduced would be called Poltergeist. Basically reverse Scrappy. Let the user hit normal types with ghost type moves. Alright, yeah, I feel like we've seen that already, or we could assume that one. Maybe an ability that can confuse a Pokemon that hits you. I like it. Is there something I'm forgetting about? Yeah, I can't touch this ability. I think that's actually really cool, but they need to buff Confusion back to 50%, honestly. Like, Confusion at 30% is one of the worst things that ever happened to Pokemon. Boy, did you just? Raises all stats sharply if hit by critical or frozen. I like that. I actually like that, you know? Like, if you get, like, Mega Hacks, there's an ability that just starts giving you stats. I mean, we already have Anger Point, so just give everything instead of +6 to one thing. Arm's Length keeps physical attacks at bay by making the ability user's evasion +2 against physical attacks. I like that. Reduced accuracy for certain typings against that Pokemon. Or not certain, well, maybe typings as well. Just the attack style. I think that's kind of neat. Necromancer works like Moxie or Soul Heart, but if an ally faints, your Pokemon gets +1 in every stat. I think Necromancer, like, yeah, you could look at this from two ways. It's a Ghost-type Pokemon with Necromancer, or it's also like a Fairy-type Pokemon that has like an ally, like, you know, like that Rage ability that we saw earlier, you know, you just get mad and then +1 to everything. I think that could snowball too easily, but if it's put on a weak enough Pokemon, it creates an interesting ultimatum for your opponents. Like, KO the Pokemon that can +1 everything, or ignore this super strong thing that's going to +1 the Pokemon I want to KO. Last Ditch Effort. All moves will result in a critical hit if your Pokemon's health drops below 20%. Ooh, I like that. I like that one. What are the replies? Another ability could kind of be OP, where I call ×2, takes 2 turn counters from weathers, rooms, and terrains. I think that'd be kind of neat, that like as long as that Pokemon's on the field, all of the turn counters are reduced by 2. And maybe we could also have like a long sleeper ability. I think Hypno would be pretty cool if it added like +1 or +2 to the sleep turn counter of every Pokemon. I think a very niche Hypno-like Pokemon could actually get away with something that like allows for heavy sleeper or something. Electrify. This Pokemon's contact moves become electric type. Interesting. I like that. So it's kind of like Liquid Voice, but for contact moves on certain Pokemon. That actually has like a lot of interesting stuff behind it. Because what you could do is give it to like an electric blank Pokemon that if it uses Earthquake, Earthquake doesn't make contact. So you still have ground, and then anything else like a high base power like Flare Blitz or something could give you like a higher base power electric move than we're used to. That's kind of cool. Chemical Barb. This Pokemon gets poisoned and loses 1/4 of its hit points. So what, is that on contact, or is it just that Pokemon gets poisoned and then has like crazier stats because it's always coming in poisoned or something? I don't know. Hallucination lowers the accuracy of opponent when user uses a poison move. Oh, that's cool. So it's like a venom that causes them to lose accuracy every time they're hit with poison. Force field. User cannot use moves like fly, dig, or dive. I wonder, like, what is there like a drawback to that, or is that just one of those like, are these also like those negative abilities that we see that don't really benefit for the Pokemon, but they benefit the theme and the lore of the Pokemon? Burning touch, contact moves causes burns for the opponent. So yeah, reverse flame body for that one. What about ability which makes it able to burn fire Pokemon? I think that's one thing I've seen a lot of suggestions for. It's like Salazzle's ability, but for every type of status, or like at least something that can make it work. Like Spore is allowed. Yeah, Spore and Powdered moves would be allowed to be used on Grass type Pokemon. You can paralyze Electric and Ground type, or you can burn Fire type. I think that'd actually be really strong. I think that physical fire Pokemon are a little too overtuned, because you can't burn them. So that means like if they get stats for their physical, they just keep those stats. And that's a little strong. Don't know a name for these abilities, but I have a few ideas. But that turns all physical moves special, kind of like Psyshock. Also an ability that makes contact gives +1 priority. Whoa, that's a bit OP, but I don't know how I'd weaken it. Yeah, that's a bit OP if contact moves just get +1 priority. That means everything becomes priority on certain Pokemon. New exclusive ability, Distorted Reality. Like Contrary, but affects everyone if you give it for Giratina in like the Diamond Pearl remakes. Like it. Love it. I love it. We got new ability, Intoxicate. Turns normal type moves into poison type, boosting their power. Live Coals. Throws out hot coals on the field. Same effect as Stealth Rocks, but also burns the target. Oh, that's a new move, Live Coals. I think we need an instant burning move would be... That's... The reason why poison works is because, like, poison has toxic. So toxic poison is effectively the potential for burn to lower attack, and then, what is it? Paralysis to lower speed and stuff like that. So that's interesting. Special version of Pure and Huge Power? Maybe. Symmetry. If an ally Double Battle has the same type as his Pokemon, then double the attack, special attack of both Pokemon. Maybe not double, but I could see like +1 being pretty fair. Because, like, again, you have to kind of back this up with other abilities. Other abilities, they don't like giving double, you know? Sometimes it's a +1, sometimes it's -1, sometimes it's 30% extra damage. It mostly... Actually, no, I don't think it depends on the Pokemon in that case, because I could just give double the attack or double the special attack to a Tapu Koko, and now nothing's going to survive anything. That's a little scary, especially with the amount of speed, too. Ability that makes Pokemon's negative stat changes treated as positive. Contrary? Or an ability that transfers the stat changes of Pokemon to the next Pokemon that enters the field. I think that's actually pretty cool, like an inherent baton pass ability. That's kind of neat. And are the 4 replies? Baton pass and Contrary. Whoops. New ability, Determination. Doesn't feel the effects of a status problem, yet moves where it helps to have status like Facade get boost. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a cool concept. Pheromones, chance of the opposing gender getting infatuated from contact moves. Feel like this would be a good ability for Salazzle. Draining ability for Drain Punch, Draining Kiss, Giga Drain heals 30% more when these attacks are used for more sustained power. Actually, that was in the rough draft for this video that I was thinking about making like a part 2. And instead, I just asked the comment section for like, hey, let's just throw a ton of ideas at me. And I actually had one that was like, what if you can like stack Big Root with a draining ability? I think that'd be pretty nice. Illuminate should get an in-battle ability. Oh my god, wait, never mind, it's Seeker. I was like, yeah, Seeker, you know, good fan in the Discord, has some fan-friendly battle submissions and stuff. Just dedicated fan right here. These were 2 things that were on my list for things that were going to make it in the ability. Because like, wait a second, what if Illuminate works like Bright Powder? I was thinking that lowering the opponent's accuracy by 1 is a little too OP. So maybe just like a 10% accuracy drop across the board. So yeah, it looks like me and Seeker were thinking the exact same. And I think that's kind of a good way... Oh, Loud Voice. That's perfect. Loud Voice, Stab for sound-based moves, and then like Steelworker for also other moves, you know, where you can give triple stab to a Pokemon. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a good way. And also, yo, Loud Voice on Primarina would be pretty awesome. So Loud Voice instead of Liquid Voice should exist. And that's kind of it. So guys, enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. I think we talked long enough about potential new Pokemon abilities. And I hope you guys have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.